not didn't share with you. This is a picture of one of the bridge, which is halfway between downtown Seoul and the airport. It's in Gyeonggi province, which is the area out just around Seoul, and it's about maybe I think 30 minutes from one of the downtown areas and 30 minutes to the airport. It's my own photograph. I stopped on the side of the freeway, took the picture about 20 years ago. So just tell me that one of you confirmed with me that you can see all the sharing. I can see on my screen that it is being shared. I'd just like to confirm that you can see the sharing. Great. Thanks, Kalia. Kalia, are you the one that has a Korean email? Are you Korean? Anyway, just checking. Okay. So these are some of the pictures we have on Koreapedia already. Right now, you've maybe only seen one of them, which is the Koreapedia. I'll just put it in here. Koreapedia. This is the advertising screen that I use to advertise itself, and some of you would have seen the picture of myself, my sister, my mother back in, I think this is 67 when we first arrived in Australia, about 66 or 5. That's when I started losing my Korean. And this was earlier this year in the Altai Mountains, if you have read this. And this is where I decided to finally get into the same business that my mother and my grandfather was in. And I was about to go down this enormous powder slope. Skiing there. My other gig is I'm also a certified ski instructor, but I don't do it commercially. I just did it for fun. So this is something that you've probably all seen before. Some of you may have seen the Koreapedia .net website, which was an early website that I created before creating the actual wiki. After this, I actually created several wikis as part of the learning curve. So there is a website here, Koreapedia.net, but it's not very active anymore unless you register, and you can register your name and it'll give you an answer in Korean. And you can actually, I don't know if you can hear it, you can actually hear it. But let's go back to the main wiki. So it's a sneak peek, and it's here now. It's got multiple sites. If you go there, you can actually search for things like if you're interested in, of course, everybody's interested in K-pop Demon Hunters. And here's is a picture of a drone show that was in Seoul a few days ago. All the dates I'm writing here are in Korean format, year, month, day, and this is a huge drone show, 2,000 drones that happened on Tuesday. I just put this one up, and this was created. Actually, the whole thing here was created using AI, and these are the tools that I'll be releasing next year, so people don't have to spend that much time to drag up information, a lot of which will be in Korean. And you can I've done tests. You can actually just give it a prompt of the kind of post you want, and it will actually pull it up, and you can actually post it. But these are for now the sites. Some of the sites are available. If you go up there, it's not a fully functional database yet. You can go up there and put in something that you want. I could put in, let's say, myself or my social profile. And this is where we start to vary a bit from Wikipedia. It allows you to enter your social profile. So as part of being a more interactive wiki where you can meet other people of interest and other people in the States or around the world that have an interest in Korea, or who could also be people in Korea wanting to look out. So you can go to bounce around all these sites. It's not open. It was open to the full public and until 1 or 2 months ago. Then we decided to close it. So now you would have to register. You'd have to register to join in. I'm already logged in here. If I log out, you would have to. You can just go and look at stuff. What are we going to look at? This is an AI. This is actually an AI created post, AI generated here. The documents, the text is all AI generated as a test, which was from a previous version of the wiki I created, and so you can actually look at all of this now. But you would have to create anything. You'd have to request an account and then log in. Right now, the ability to write is not available unless you request an account. So that's the whole. That's you. Apart from all this, the rest of it operates very similar to Wikipedia, except it's just focused on things Korean. Hi, your father's Korean, yeah. 안녕하세요. Yeah, it operates very similar to Wikipedia. It's based on a similar code base or software platform. I did try several and ended up coming back to the Wikipedia software, which is called MediaWiki. It's very powerful, and it will behave largely the same as Wikipedia, but our objective is to create something which is similar to Wikipedia, but you probably know the Korean Wikipedia, but unfortunately, it's mostly in Korean, or it's all in Korean. And then the big one. This is about 700,000 articles. The big one with about 2 million articles is NamuWiki. And this is about 2 million articles, and it's more active, but a lot of the content is regarded as unreliable, a bit like a tabloid wiki. So you can't use it nobody uses it for research. They just use it for entertainment. And I'm going to try and have it somewhere in the middle where the information on Koreapedia is reliable and accurate, but it's not as dry as Wikipedia. It'll be more fun. So if you look at my what was the recent post for K-pop, I hope that the contributors will be people like you who write it. Here are all the different ones. Could maintain a more interesting posture like, no, this is the actual story. This is the actual story about K-pop Demon Hunters. I'm using here certain images that are licensed under certain conditions, but I have one about the show, and I can go through the search and look for the show itself. So you can see I've done things here that probably would have been edited out very fast in Wikipedia, which is, we talk about the show here. I put in an Easter egg for the people who know the song. It's about how the drones fly up, up, up. Could be regarded as a bad dad joke, but it's also, I have 2 kids, so I know all about bad dad jokes. So I have, but this is also the way I'm showing to people that this is not going to be a dry wiki, but something a bit more fun to entertain as well as to inform. And then the other aspect that we'll look at is I have I think it's on the BTS. It should be not the BTS. It's already getting So you're getting enough pages at. Okay, I'm going to have a meetup function so that people can organize meetups, um, uh, and without having. I don't know if you meetup is becoming what they call enshittified. You might have heard the term. It's when a good product has less features and starts getting more expensive. To most of you, meetups will be a free event, but to the organizers, it's about $80 a quarter. So a lot of people are leaving meetup because it's kind of is. I think what $80 a quarter is like $320 a year US dollars. It's quite expensive to host a meetup. This will be basically this will be part of a service we just charge. We might charge like $5 a month or something, but you can host your own meetup. Could be this one is a fans group. I was thinking of putting K Town, uh, Queens there, but I ended up going with LA, the bigger one of their favorite. This is actually BTS's favorite restaurant in LA. So this is the kind of thing you could put up, and then it will link to all the other people within a Koreapedia or within a specific group. It could be go to all the people within the BTS LA Army or fan group or whatever you have. So we'll have this meetup function as well. So that you have, I've shown you the pages. Feature wise, they're very similar to a Wikipedia, or would be the other ones, if some of you may be familiar with, would be the Wikimania and the Fandom, which is also using the same software. And in future, we'll probably be able to use the same password across all of them. And we'll have these features here, like the meetups, and I'm setting up lessons, which I've been experimenting with, and you might have read about Clues, which is the Clues, which stands for where is it? I'll probably go back to. Here we go. Which will be the sentence mining and exchange tandem groups based on the topic of each page, uh, and also the AI that will help people them research and create content, but it has to be posted under your own name. These are not AI posts. This will be your own post. So that's basically all I have for the demo. It's a short demo because it's just going through things that you already know, because I think all of you are already wiki users. Some of the timelines here, and that's really about it. Sorry I can't get this two-way interactive discussion going, but would be love to see any questions that you have. And I actually want to hear more about yourselves, and I know some of the reasons why. I mean, there are some of the reasons why you're interested in Koreapedia. For the same reason I'm interested in creating it. If you want something and it's not there, you have to either find it or make it. I have to make it because it's not there. But would like to know if any of you have any other unique reasons for wanting to have interest in a service like Koreapedia. So please type your message, since I can't find the menu path to have you all on the screen. But I think maybe this service is more designed as a one-to-many instead of many-to-one, or many-to-many. Don't be shy, ask your questions. Okay, the booking services. Kali, that's what it is I spend a lot of time in Korea, and my Korean is actually good enough to I can move around and book services online. It's not good enough. I mean, I book them verbally. I can book some simple stuff, but I can't get into anything complicated because my vocabulary is limited. And that is the product where we actually create. You're familiar with, of course, you're all familiar with AI, the AI is actually it's free for you to use now, but it's free because all these companies are trying to do a real estate grab and gain market share. But the technology itself is very expensive to use, as you'd be aware of the data center problem in the US, which is one of the hidden costs. But the upfront cost to use that as another commercial business like this would be, whether it's a foundation or private or whatever, as another commercial operation, is quite expensive. So I'm actually going to a meeting later tonight, our time, about 6 hours from now, 7 hours, 13 hours from now, this evening. And I've been quite involved in AI because I have a technology background, and I'm creating a AI model that's specialized in looking at things, translating between Korean and English, and has what's called a RAG, a retrieval augmented generation, which means it doesn't only look at its training set. It goes out and looks at that real-time data in the world. When is that bus coming? Has that bus broken down? In Korea, all the buses, every bus can be monitored at the bus station and on an app. So if a bus actually breaks down, you'd know. You know when the bus is coming to within 30 seconds because you can see coming on the app. So you can look at those sort of things. And it's basically an AI that will be small enough to sit on your mobile phone. And then operate without internet content if you're in the countryside or something like in rural Korea. Although I've actually never been to a place in rural Korea where I couldn't get internet. And when the Koreans first come to Australia, they see the little download timing button. They say, "What is this?" They go, "Oh, 이거 뭐야? 이거 뭐야?" Because in Korea, you never get things download slowly. It all comes out instantly. You get 300 or 400, 500 megabytes on the subway. So, but if you ever end up in the countryside in a real batch, it'll operate on its own. But if you have connection, it has the ability to reach out and pull that data from the transport networks real time. And so that's for things like trains and bus schedules. How long until the next bus? Most buses are like 5-10 minutes apart. Some are 30 minutes apart. Making bookings on theater and stuff. It's all designed for that sort of thing. But that AI is quite a bit away. And I actually haven't. That one is a long dated item, and it's actually one here because it's quite a complicated piece, and it will be towards the end if I get everything else set up in time. So it won't be. Don't hold your breath. It's not going to be out in the next 3 months. That's quite a complicated feature. What's it? Brahman. I got into the I'll read it out so other people can hear it. A few years ago, as on and off, and K-pop has really sparked my interest, like everybody else's. Ever sparked my interest in the culture and the language. Okay, great. Interested in almost everything Korean. Angelina, I like the idea of the information in one place. I'm hearing Korean currently. I'm learning Korean currently, but it's a slow process. Yeah, great. So I hope to help all of you. By the time I actually arrived in Australia when I was 4. By the time I left my first school about 4 years later, I actually didn't speak any Korean at all. So when I went to Australia, I didn't speak English. When I left my first school, I didn't speak Korean, which is kind of unforgivable for my mother, whose day job was actually teaching Korean. But there's a whole backstory around that. So I figured out how to do it myself. I managed to maintain a little thread amongst a few friends in Korea that I made when I was 10 years old, and I latched onto those friends and used them to be my little thread back to Korea each time. And they became my best friends over the years. I've known one of them for over 50 years. I call him my hyung, my big brother, and he's my best friend there. And I chat with him daily. I stay at his place when I go to Korea these days after I left Korea. And we cycle together. We ski together in Japan early this year. We cycled together in Korea. We used to windsurf together. But what I realized is all you need a couple of threads to open the way there. And some of you may have it through family, if you have a Korean family there, or through one or two friends. But what does for all those other people that don't have my 50-year-old friendship, I wanted to use Koreapedia as that thread. All you have to do is open a doorway, because once you get to Korea, you find that they're very friendly and they're very open, and any hesitancy, resistance you find is because they are unsure about how to talk to you, because they're very self-conscious about their English. So if there was a way that these Korean people could actually talk and communicate with you more easily, they would love to, because they all love to talk with outsiders. And in Korea, that a lot of them actually want to leave, and sadly, the highest rate of intended immigration. That's another long story, maybe another post on Koreapedia. But they would love to communicate with outsiders if they could, which is one of the reasons why some of the forums I want to create will be simultaneous. So as you write something in English, the Korean will come out too, and vice versa. Some of the technology is already there. Some of the Korean English translation technology is a bit dodgy because of the way that double negatives are handled. When you say, aren't you going there? And you say yes or no in English, it has opposite meaning in Korean. So you get sometimes the opposite, exactly opposite meaning, which can be dangerous in some situation. But I'm trying to create a Korean English models that solve AI model, translation model that will solve some of that stuff. So that's you've probably heard more than everybody about Koreapedia, because I'm trying not to sort of talk too much about it amongst people who don't have any interest. But obviously, you all have interest. That's why you're here. Okay. Just reading all your messages, Angela. Thank you. So I just give you an update. The Kickstarter is doing very poorly. It looks okay, but it's mostly the support of my close friends and family, which I guess a lot of investments or business startups is. I've actually started about 10 different businesses uh, over my lifetime. I've raised some of them. I actually put in my own money, 7 figures, in fact, and some of them um, I did angel investments. I'm not sure if you know about all different investment rounds. I've done VC. I raised VC money 4 times. I've listed one company on a stock exchange. So I'm quite familiar with this whole process, but I'm getting this whole Kickstarter thing. I was trying to speed things up, but Kickstarter itself is slowing me down because there's so much work involved. So I might just take it offline, and if the Kickstarter is not doing very well, which is not, then I might just take it off the Kickstarter and just build it myself. It will be slower. It will be much slower. One of the reasons why I would do the Kickstarter is because then I can get more resources, developers and things to just speed it up. If I can't do it that way, then I'll just run it myself, and it'll be slower, but it will get there because it's something I'm going to do. So I don't know how the Kickstarter is going, but if it's not a material success, I may not just go ahead with it and just do it myself. You will get your products, but it may take longer if I'm doing it myself, or if I'm doing it self-funded, or just put a donate button or put some ads there. And I'm thinking of doing advertising there, so I can share the revenue with the content providers, and also to fund the site itself. Oh, thanks, Angela. So I will. It's actually not a very big project, because wikis are very cost efficient to operate. You can actually get all of Wikipedia into a single memory card. because it's mostly text. It's not video streaming, and but the biggest amount of work is to actually build the content. Now, in that the Kickstarter is not flying. Wikipedia, when it first started, everybody said it was a stupid idea. It's not going to work because no one's going to put their time in to create content to share to other people for free. So everybody said Wikipedia was a stupid idea, and it's now one of the handful of largest websites in the world, one of the top 5. And also one of my previous startups 20 years ago was content sharing online. And the VCs told me that's a stupid idea because no one's going to put their personal content, their life events, or their photographs online. And then we got Facebook. So, there are some business models that are just not very attractive to investors or supporters initially until they see it work. Just like Henry Ford said, if I ask people what they wanted, they'll say faster horses. So he built the car instead. So I think so. What I'll do is I'm going to create a separate chat group for people who want to support the project and help me spread the word. And I'm just wondering, wanted to ask you. Right now, we have some VIP groups on Messenger in Korea. In Korea, we use Kakao, of course, and there are many other chat apps. If I put up a support group for getting this going, a chat group to get advice, feedback, hear what you want, hear what you like, hear what you don't like. What do you guys have any preferences? Would it be WhatsApp? Would it be Messenger? Kakao? Should we just get into Kakao to get all of you familiar with Kakao? Because if you're going to be involved in Korea, Kakao is the app that does it. Although it's English to Korean, Korean to English translation is just awful. It's one of the Kakao language models. But do you guys have any preferences? Okay. I think the US is the United States, I guess, is mostly Messenger and SMS. And WhatsApp is Korea, but I can use any of the major ones. What about Kakao? Is that going just a bit too far to Korea? Because I don't know how many Americans would actually have Kakao listed on their phone. But if you're going to get involved in Korea, then using Kakao would be a good way, a good one step, because it has social aspects. It has Kakao Story. It has translation into Korean, although Messenger does have that as well. But it is another app. I'm a big Discord, Signal, and Telegram user actually, but I was in the messaging business. I was in the messaging business for many years, and because I spent most of my time working in Asia, so Korea is Kakao, Japan is Line, and so is Taiwan, and Thailand is Line, and Vietnam, where I worked for a year, is Zylo, and China is WeChat. So it's like if you go to Russia, they have their own stuff, and all over Central Asia, they have their favorite tools, but stay with the major ones. Discord is the most useful one because it has different channels like Slack. Kakao is the most Korean. Naver, the Naver product is the main chat product is called Line, but it's Japan, Taiwan, and Thailand. So if we're all over the place here, maybe this will be, if you don't mind, I'll get all of you people who are involved in this call and then just set up a small email group, and we can have this discussion and decide which messenger to set up, which messenger I have to set up on, and then I can invite some of the other people. We have a mailing list of about 700 people that wanted updates. We can have a vote, but maybe I'll do by the email because I don't want to take up all of your time. It was supposed to be for 30 minutes. I'm already over, although the actual webinar is scheduled for 1 hour, but the vote is it was already scheduled for 30 minutes. We're over that, and I'll uh, I'll I'll send out a message to this group who joined, and I'm sure there are other people that wanted to join, but the timing wasn't good. But thank you for all of you coming, and if you have any questions, ask them now, and next time maybe I'll set up a Google Meet so I can actually see your faces and see who I'm talking to, um, to get more interaction. Any more questions? Yeah, the chat. Yeah, and the chat is important because it's sticky. You know, once you set it up and you got a few hundred people there, it's not going to go away. So it's 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 uh it's like marriage. You know, it's easy to get into, but it's really hard to sort of. So we have to decide quickly, early, which is the best way, which is the best for the long term. Okay. Okay, so all of you go and have a look there, and I'm still building it, and it's not it's good enough for beta, so all of you can read it. And if you start, I can allow some of you to go in there and actually become to write stuff in there. And the licensing is you can actually copy anything from Wikipedia in, and you can display it here. Normal Wiki doesn't allow that, but Wikipedia, you can copy and paste anything from there to Koreapedia. The only thing is you have to give attribution. So if you look, maybe I just go quickly there to give an example. Just this is my mother or my grandfather. So that's my mother. She's upstairs right now. I'm in Canberra, where we live, and I copied a lot of this from the NU, and you just have to give this attribution. They allow everything to be copied either manually or by machine. Just give attribution, and then you got other things like this one I did for the drone show. So the drone show here, this was just a single prompt on a AI language model called Perplexity, a single prompt, and they gave me this. And so the actual base work can be quite efficient, and then you can add your own flair, like I did here with a little bit of fun. So it's all ready to go now, and as you do your registrations, or we can do it discussion by this group, I can set you all up. It was, as at the beginning, free for everybody, but I decided it was probably going to be, there's going to be some people unwanted coming on and doing stuff there. So I'll vet everybody initially, and then maybe some of the early people can become editors and moderators going into it and get really involved in the community if you have the desire and the time available. Yes, you'll be able to rewatch this, and I'm for all of you early starters. I'm very happy to message you directly or have one-on-one discussions if you have specific interest. It's a small group now, so I will have the ability to get on a call with you directly on a WhatsApp call or whatever, or you can send messages into the chat group. Then everybody can benefit, and then for that chat group, I'm going to actually have a AI monitor the chat group, so that that AI can then do a question and answer, build up a question and answer like Yahoo Answers or Naver was basically a question and answer session, so other people can actually learn from the same chats. So that's probably what I have now. I will post, Leanne, I will post this so you can rewatch it. And in about a day's time, I'm going to add some data to this so you can ask questions. And then this actual webinar itself has a chatbot that can answer questions based on context I give it. Okay, so thanks for your time. If there's nothing further, I'll close the meeting now. But I'm really happy to speak to a number of live users, even though we can't do two-way conversations. But I'm very happy to see you there. And if I can get like you 10 people that are interested in this product, that means I can find 100 people. That means I can find 1,000 people, and that means it can be a very useful product moving forward. It's not supposed to be there to replace Wikipedia. It's just supposed to be focused, more fun, and more useful uh, than a full encyclopedia. And I hope that people like you will help me make it that sort of thing. Okay, then. Keep on with your things. Goodbye, and have a rest of your Wednesday. It's now early morning Thursday in Australia, and I'm very happy to see you. Goodbye.